For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, looking for those whose hearts are blameless before me, that I may show myself strong on your behalf. I declare to you this night, saith your God, that I have been looking and I have been sorting out and I have been searching for a people for this region. And I have been speaking to those whose ears are open to my cry. For I have heard your cry. I have heard the voice of those who have been in a wilderness place. I have heard the voice of those who have been in a barren land. I've heard the voice of those who have cried out that I might demonstrate my kingdom in the earth. I've heard the cry of those who have said, the leaven of the Pharisees has choked me out. The leaven of the Pharisees has judged me in my liberty. The leaven of the Pharisees has set me down, set me apart, and sent me away. And I found a people, one by one, who said, I have to have the leaven of the kingdom that leavens the whole lump. Jesus. And I began to systematically call. And even as I have said to you, call unto me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things that ye know not of, that you've not seen heretofore. Even so saith God, when I heard that cry, when I heard that voice, when I heard your cry, the cry of your heart and the passion of your heart, for man looked on the outward appearance, but I, saith your God, I remind you, I look on the heart. And I've heard the songs of Zion. I've heard them in a strange land. How can we sing the Lord's song? I've put my harp, I've hung it on the willow tree. I've hung up my song. I've hung up my dance. I've hung up my cry, my voice to prophesy. I've hung it all up. For I've been in a strange land, a barren land, a wilderness land. But the hand of the Lord says, this night, I'm handing you your harp again. I'm handing you your voice and your prophesying again. I'm handing you the gifts that once were residue in you. And they would function, but the others, the religious system would say, get rid of that function and that unction. And I heard the cry throughout these hills and this mountain. And I heard for those who said, oh Lord, rend the heavens, open the heavens. And I heard, and I have responded. And now saith your God, there is a coming together and a gathering. For this shall no longer just be a gathering place, for truly it has been. And many have come, and they've come to be healed and restored. But God says, many who laid on the floor as I did restore, now are coming up, and they're coming up healed and whole and ready to fulfill their purpose and their destiny in me. And I declare to you this night that even as I said to those when I released and must leave, and I left my spirit to fill the earth, I said, go tarry. Go tarry and wait for me, for my spirit to come from on high. And there was a gathering, and there was a crowd. But very soon, that crowd was no longer there. But what did come, saith your God, was my spirit. And to that crowd that remained, I was loud, for I spoke in multiple tongues, and I covered the earth. And my spirit began to distribute my gifts, my anointings, my mantles, my power. And I released it, saith God. And I released it on different people groups. And I released it on different generations. And out of that release on generations, there began to be demonstrations. And you have cried out for your demonstration. You have cried out for it to be manifest. Know this night, saith your God, that the gathering place, I will not remove this gathering place as a gathering place, but I always add to, saith God. So this gathering place shall add to it an equipping place. And this gathering place and this equipping place shall add to it a demonstration. And there, saith God, from that demonstration, there shall be a ascending place. And I shall pour out by my spirit, I shall pour out on you and your sons and your daughters, and they shall prophesy, and they shall rise up, saith God, and blessed are they who know the joyful sound,
yes,
for they shall be singing my praises all the day long. And I am equipping and training a people, gathering them in, circumcising their hearts, removing the unsavory parts, removing the broken parts, removing the resentful parts, removing the judgmental parts, removing those parts, saith God, that the enemy used to destroy and to steal your joy. But now, saith God, there shall come the processing where you shall see the things that I do shall be as gold, and it shall be unto me. It shall be unto me an offering, a sacrifice, a fragrance in my sight, a fragrance before my throne, a fragrance that I, saith God, will fill and inhabit. And in the days to come, saith God, your gatherings shall have the fragrance. You shall smell of the fragrance of your God. You shall smell of that as you come in and go out. You shall go away, and you shall carry with you away the display where I have dwelt among you. And they will say, what is that I smell and sense and see? And it will be the extraction of you and more of me. And you've cried out for that and said, God, I don't know how to make that happen. And the hand of the Lord says, in this hour of my release of power, where the demonstration of my kingdom of glory and power abide, you shall be released to be a demonstration of me that will bring liberty, joy, and glee. And everywhere you go, don't you know that you will begin to sow? You will sow my glory. You will sow my presence. You will sow liberty. You will sow and see the captive set free. And this is the time, for the change order has already begun, saith your God. And I have instituted a decree, a glorious decree. It shall be the decree that will reflect me. And that decree, saith God, has been the plumb line. I have dropped the plumb line. And I have taken my sword and I have begun to cut away all that was not of me in thee. And in doing so, saith God, you're walking now, being set free. Many have wept on their beds, and many have said that if it stays this way, I want to run away. And you have been confronted by truth. But oh, don't you see that my truth is what sets you free? And so I have tested your heart to see if you really want the scalpel in my hand, you see, to go and set and sever apart and cut away everything in your heart that does not beat like my heart, you see. For this night, this night, even not by your power or your might, but by my Spirit, there has been a release, you see, of my glory. For many have said, what is the glory, the Kabod of God? It is the weightiness of my presence that sat down on thee this night. Some of you saw it with spiritual sight. This night, my glory rested upon you. The move and the shift of my spirit in the earth has caused you to now take on new birth. And in that process, you will discover your worth. For I gave my all, you see, to buy your liberty. Now it shall be not just a gathering place, nor just a training and a harness place, not just a demonstration equipping place, but it shall be an incubation place for the womb of my spirit, where the seed of your God is planted. The planting of the Lord, that I may be glorified And now, I am beginning to do a work where your spiritual womb takes on the seed of your God. And there will be a birthing, and there will be a rebirthing. For where the enemy has successfully, you see, carried out his miscarriage, abortion, and stillbirth in thee, and in this region, you see. For I visited this place. I visited this space. And there was a rejection of that I wanted to do. And many cried out, and that's why I've chosen you. For you said, "Oh God, please visit again in me so that we might truly see your kingdom authority and your glory." This is a weighty word that many have just heard. And those who have ears to hear and eyes to see and a heart to believe and receive from me, you will be ushered in to the new thing that I am doing in the earth. A rebirth and a birthing. For many have heard the friends that came with a discouraging word, and you walked away and you said, "I'll not hear in the hearing of my ear the talk and the division that has come. For I have seen, mine eyes have seen the glory of the Lord. And now I must have it for my bread and water. And I must eat of it daily, so that truly there will be, and I'll participate with him in the moving of my spirit in the earth. For this is a regional work that I'm doing, saith God. Generations are being affected, and those afflicted are being affected. But generations shall now be restored, you see, because you have embraced the dealings of me. And I've turned your heart every part, so that truly in the season you've entered into, I will do what I said I will do. And out of this region, a hill, a mountain here and there, they say, What is that sound? And what is that power on display? But I have found this remnant, you see, that turned their heart radically inside out for me. And from this place, you shall see that it will displace the darkness that has hovered and pressed in on thee. And there will be a change of governments. There will be a change of local governments. There will be those who will be revealed, that's been concealed. And they will be removed, you see. For I have said, justice and righteousness are the foundation of my throne. And I will use you as one of my own to work with that, you see, to see the change order around thee. And you shall be dispersed as you go from this command center before you even enter into the season of winter. You will be aware very keenly that I have done a work and am making a change order. For I remind you again, the leaven of the Pharisees can no longer leaven your lump. If you have truly followed me, the kingdom leaven will bring you your full liberty. It will affect your family, you see. For you've cried out, and you've cried out religiously. But you shall see a demonstration of me where I will do a work in their heart. And they will become a part of the kingdom of your God. I speak to you this night. No longer require others to see you as right. But I speak to you this night, and I charge you as one who would be extended the scepter of a king to a knight. And I place it upon you, and it'll be a mantle, you see, that will wrap around thee. And when you begin to walk, it will transform your talk. And no longer will others mock the remnant part you are, for they'll see that I have removed even your scar.